And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wildcats, the Wildcat football game. We're taking on the Greenville Lions tonight. We're here at Cotton Ford Field in Greenville, Texas, as the Greenville drill team, and it looks like the choir has taken the field to sing maybe their fight song. Don, we'll just get right on into the roster. I think we're running a couple minutes late on the radio. Go ahead.
All right. A quick word, though, from some good news coming from the main gym of Sulphur Springs High School tonight. You can now call your Lady Cats volleyball team district champions.
Oh, fantastic.
They won that district championship by beating Longview tonight 3-1. And so good job by the Lady Cats to capture the district championship.
Yes, congratulations to them.
Absolutely. Let's start with the Greenville Lions offense. Veteran quarterback is Brandon Stevens. Their starting running back is Hugh Pitts. We'll also see a lot of Otagus Johnson. Four really, really good wide receivers. Sean Brown is the real field stretcher of the bunch, and a real fast and versatile player that's a leading rusher, too, besides a good receiver. Miles Denson. Caleb Johnson, a real good receiver, and also Jaquez Davis. Across the offensive line, that averages 246. Left tackle, Greg Just. Left guard, Alex Rodriguez. Center is Sam Martin. Right guard is Daniel Bueno. And the right tackle is Travis Bowers. So that's the Greenville offense. The Wildcats defense, they also have an Alex Rodriguez. He's on the nose, A-Rod. Defensive tackle, DeAndre Peoples, and also Brighton Reuter. The inside linebackers, Ryan Carrillo, as the Greenville Lions come onto the field.
Yep.
Also in the inside, Wyatt Smithson. Outside linebackers, Cameron Hargrave and Landry Meskimen. Cornerbacks are Robbie Hanks and Caden Eaton, and the safeties are Wiley Bennett and Cordarian Bull Turner. And now let's check the Greenville defense. Their 4-3 look. From the defensive end positions, Jalen Maps and also Mike Surface, a good one. And the defensive tackles, another good one, Deshaun Grigsby, and also Sincere Jones. Their inside, or their middle linebacker is Davian Wallace. A weak side linebacker is John Carlos Beltaton. And a couple other linebackers, they have Jeremy McCallum and Jackson Cathy. On the corners, Kenton Anderson and Kadarian Johnson. And the free safety is Garrett Phillips. And Wildcats on offense. Across the offensive line, Sam J. Pryor, left tackle. Left guard is Dealton Givens Nelson. The center is Raiden McCormick. Right guard is Alfredo Olivide. And the right tackle is Sean Dial. Quarterback, Caden Wallace. Running back, Caden Davis. B-back is Carson Fenton. Slot receiver, C.J. Williams. And I've been waiting for them to turn that light off.
I knew that was going to happen to you.
It got dark.
Yes.
Matthew Mitchell is a wide receiver along with Cable Glenn. So managed to get my way through most of the lineups before the sun went down there.
Yes, and here comes the national anthem, it looks like.
Greenville High School represents the colors of the great country of the United States of America. Tonight, to sing our national anthem, please welcome the Greenville High School Encore under the direction of Mr. Scott Service.
Beautiful rendition there by, I called them the choir, but they said the Greenville High School Encore. And a cappella, I believe. I thought they had some microphones set up. It was a little tough to hear, but we've got the crowd mic up. And the captains will be coming out on the field any moment, Don, for the coin toss as soon as they get the field clear, and then we'll have us a ball game here. So tell us what this means for the last game of our zone competition here with Greenville.
Well, that is correct. This is the third week of zone play and the last one, and each of these teams is 1-1. They both beat Corsicana. They both lost to North Forney. And so basically the simple answer tonight is the winner will be in the playoffs and the other team will be out. And so it's as simple as that. That's happening in the other zone too with Royce City.
Right.
And also Crandall will have the same situation tonight, as we have a couple of captains out there.
Yes, that's number 15 for the Wildcats there, Don.
Caden Wallace
for and just a single captain on either side for those listening on the radio.
Alex Rodriguez is the captain for Greenville.
Yep. And there is a lot of explanation going on down there, Don, before the coin toss, apparently.
Here we go.
Yep. And
Greenville has won the toss, deferred to the second half,
Absolutely.
And the Wildcats will receive and be to our left.
Yes, so the Wildcats for this first quarter will be moving left to right on your radio dial, and so we'll get to the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff in just a moment, where the Wildcats will be receiving that for the first play of the game.
Greenville kicking team getting onto the field. The Wildcats still kind of huddling up over probably with Coach Owens
and I
over
think
there.
We can probably guess who's going to be back to receive that kickoff on the side of the Wildcats, can't we?
Caden Davis usually and Matthew Mitchell.
Matthew Mitchell is what we're going to call it. And there they are taking the field. They're heading down toward the end zone.
Our crystal ball is working real good so far.
We're unbelievable. It's like we've been to one of these games before, Don. And Matthew Mitchell on our near side here, and Caden Davis on the far side. And don't know much about Greenville and any of their trick plays. This would be just looking for a regular kickoff here, I would think, Don.
Yeah, they've got a large kicker. This is Andrew Ibarra. And he may be bigger than our kicker, which surprises me. But the Wildcats are back to about the 10-yard line, and let's see how he handles this. He approaches and kicks it deep, and it heads down to Mitchell across the 15 to the 20. The 25 burst through to the 30, the 35, and somebody caught him from behind and dropped him at about the 43 or 42-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 42. And Chad's always interested in that field position.
Yes,
pretty good
I am.
Field position,
that is
Chad.
Pretty good field position. He turned that, and I didn't think he was going to get much, and he burst right through the line and got up to, what is that going to be, the 42, I guess?
That's the mark.
Yep, here they come.
And so we got Caden Wallace back in the shotgun, and he fakes and hands off a receiver sweeping around the right side to the 45 and out to about the 48-yard line. That is C.J. Williams, a gain of 6 on the play. It'll be second down and 4 for the Wildcats at their own 48.
Yes, so right up to midfield there, Don. I was so excited I didn't say that was the first Hooten's Hardware first down.
Oh, it sure was.
That's right. So this is the Hooten's Hardware second down coming for the Wildcats.
And they're close to another one, just 4 yards away. And here's a fake, and Caden Wallace keeps and does pick up that first down. Unless there's a flag, I do not see one. First down and 10 for the Wildcats at the Greenville 44-yard line after Wallace's run.
A great run by Wallace. He just faked them all out and picked up that first down. He's into Lion territory for the next Hooten's Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
Looks like we've got Cable Glenn and also C.J. Williams out here to the right with a single receiver to the left, Mitchell, I believe.
Yep.
And here's a fake to the running back. Wallace rolling out. He throws a short pass. It is caught across the 40 and down around the 36-yard line for the Wildcats. And that one was completed
46.
to Carson Benton.
Yeah, another great yardage pickup by the Wildcats there.
Yeah, that was an 8 8-yard play, or 7 yards. They're going to move it back 1, so 2nd and 3 from the 37-yard line in Greenville territory after that good 7-yard pass play. And Wallace from the shotgun takes a snap, fakes, throws a pass out. It is caught, and trying to get around the corner, and it'll be a loss. C.J. Williams made the catch, and he's going to lose about a yard or two.
Yeah, that play was a good-looking play, but I think the Greenville Lions picked up on that pretty quick and wrapped him up.
So 3rd down and 4 now, the ball at the Greenville 38-yard line. This becomes a real big play. Saw Wallace with that soft toss, so with a lot of finesse on it. He used to not do that. He would throw it right through you every time, but he's learned that. Wallace will draw now and runs for the first down across the 30, the 25, and knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line in Greenville territory. And Caden Wallace, a real force, running the football in the early going.
Yeah, he's doing a great job really reading that defense and able to scramble and get around and pick up the yards. And here comes the Hootens Hardware first down again, Don.
And they're going to mark it right on the 20. So first down and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Wildcats. They have trip receivers out to the right side. It'll be a running play. Caden Davis, and he rips up there for 6 quick ones down to the 14-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Wildcats inside the Greenville 15.
Absolutely. They're just marching down the field, Don. You just can't find anything wrong with this drive so far.
Yeah, they really look good right now, the Wildcats offense. 2 receivers out to the right for Caden Wallace. And he'll try Caden Davis again, bursting through. First down for the Wildcats, down to about the 8-yard line. Another Hootens Hardware first down.
Absolutely. We can't say that enough on this drive because the Wildcats are really just marching down the field, like I said, and now it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Again, 2 receivers out to the right for Caden Wallace, and he'll try Davis with a running play again inside the 5 down to about the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal for the Wildcats at the 3. Caden Davis doing a good job of hitting it right in there, straight ahead, north and south, and picking up yardage.
Why stop with what's working for them, Don? They just keep going.
And they've got good tempo, too. They're really snapping the ball quickly. And they'll try another running play. Davis toward the end zone, and touchdown Wildcats.
Yeah, they're straight into the end zone, and Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as they put 6 points on the board early with only 9:22 left in the first quarter. The Wildcats are up 6-0 over the Greenville Lions, and we await the point after attempt.
And we've got Josh Tavera to try to kick it here with Matthew Mitchell doing the holding. The snap's good. The ball's down. The kick on the way. And the kick is good. The Wildcats go 58 yards on their first drive for a touchdown. 9:22 left in the first quarter. It's the Wildcats 7 and Greenville 0. Back in a moment.
And we're back in Greenville where the Wildcats are up on the board over the Greenville Lions 7-0 after that 58-yard drive. And so they're going to be kicking off the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, and the Lions are back to receive. Don?
Yeah, not back far, though. Their deep guys are at the 20-yard line, so I wouldn't be surprised if Chavera just lets it rip here and see if he can't kick it over his head. But you better make sure you do, because that number 3 can fly. They tried to avoid him last year, but one of the Greenville players muffed the ball right into his hands, and he may still be running. Wildcats never caught him that night. I think they scored twice on kickoffs last year. So
it looks like they're looking for an onside kick from us, Don.
Well, that's always a smart idea. And Tavera will hammer it back over their heads. It lands 5 deep in the end zone and goes all the way through. And so they played it short, and Coach Owens fooled them and kicked it over their heads. First down and 10 for Greenville, as they will start at their own 25-yard line.
Yes. Wildcats defense coming up, and they're going to try to make it happen and match what the offense has done, because the offense certainly turned that drive by putting some points on the board.
So Greenville back in the shotgun now with their veteran quarterback. This is Brandon Stevens, 3rd year as a starter, and he will start with a sweep to the left by Denson, and he ran out of the field The Wildcats forced him out of bounds right at the 25. No gain on the play. Good job there by the Wildcats.
Yeah, they read that play very well, and they were chasing him, and he just ran out of sideways room there and got out of bounds.
Coach G would be very happy. They did a good job of containing that play and making the runner run out of bounds at the 25. 2nd down and 10 for the Lions. And Brandon Stevens back in the shotgun takes the snap and a handoff again. Miles Denson hitting up in there. This one gains a little bit more, about 7. He went up to the 32-yard line. It's going to be a big 3rd down play, 3rd and 3 for Greenville at their own 32.
Cameron Hargrave on that tackle, as well as Cordarian Turner.
The old Bull in there.
So
Cordarian Bull Turner. And here comes the Lions in black uniforms for our radio audience with a lot of red trim, red helmets. Brandon Stevens back in the shotgun. It'll be another Denson run. He started right, went left, and he's going to get around the corner, 35, 40, and picks up a 1st down. Now, that's athleticism. He was stopped, but used that speed to go back in the opposite direction and pick up the 1st down at the Greenville 45-yard line. The Wildcats had that stop, but he used that speed to get that 1st down.
Finally got knocked out of bounds by Wiley Bennett there. Saved it from a much larger run.
Coach G had the defensive coordinator had a lot of nice things to say about Wiley last week. Had a very good ball game back there in the safety position. Stevens takes the snap and hands off. Oh, Denson hits up in there. He may go, and he's across it. This is not Denson. This is another running back, and I believe that was Otagus Johnson. Otagus Johnson on the run. And he goes 55 yards for a touchdown.
Good play calling by the Greenville coach there. You can't deny that. He went right up the middle and caught the Wildcats looking, and the very fast runner just went all the way through and into the end zone. We await the extra point for the Greenville Lions as they are on the board with 6 points.
And the Lions own the extra point here. Good snap, and the kick is on the way. It heads right through the uprights, and the kick is good. 8:24 left here in the first quarter. A tie score now here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville. It's the Wildcats 7 and Greenville 7. We'll be back in a moment.
And we're back in Greenville at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. Don, you said that like you went to middle school with him, but I don't even know who that is. Maybe this is named after an old coach. Is that what you think?
That's my guess, but I honestly do not know.
I don't either. I didn't know that name. But we're here at the stadium named for T.A. Cotton Ford, whoever that is, and it's tied up. The Wildcats are 7, and then Greenville put 7 points on the board, and they're getting fantastic field position right now, Don. I think we've missed a penalty during the break on this J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. They're going to be in Wildcat territory kicking off.
Yeah,
Our guys are back deep.
This is a good time for an onside kick, and they try it, and the Wildcats cover that ball well. A good play to get on that football for the Wildcats. Yep. And let's see, that guy's still hanging on to the football there.
Must have been a personal foul penalty after on the point after attempt. That was good.
That was Brighton Reuter that did a good job of on the hands team, I guess.
Yes.
That's a defensive end there doing a good job on that onside kick. So the Wildcats end up with fairly decent, and now there's going to be a penalty of several yards up to the 39-yard line.
It's like 5. So
the Wildcats 1st down and 10 from their own 39. So considering that they gave up 15 yards of territory on this Hooten's Hardware 1st down, they have a 1st and 10 from the 39. Here's a shotgun or a Wildcat play. Snap to C.J. Williams. He tries to head around the corner, and he's going to be hit for a loss. And he's going to be dropped. Looks like a loss of several. Let's see where they spot the ball. Looks like the 37. That'll be a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Wildcats. That's the first time this year we've seen C.J. Williams back in the Wildcat package.
That's a quick snap. They're coming up to the line and snapping quick, trying to get Greenville off guard.
They really got the tempo up tonight, and here's a running play. Davis burst into the secondary across the 50. Davis, you could see him lose his balance, and he was trying to gain it, but he fell. But after a real good game gain up to the Greenville 33-yard line. A very nice run by Davis.
First down and 10 Wildcats.
Yeah, what a fantastic run. He just took off and just over-accelerated, I think, Don, is what we'd call it, and lost his footing. Here comes the Hootens Hardware first down.
From the 33-yard line. We've all done that when you're running and you know you're going to fall like that. The Wallace fakes his pass incomplete, tried to complete it. I believe that was toward Sherman. Turn around there, son.
Yeah, 13, I believe.
Oh, is that Glenn? Yeah, okay.
Glenn.
Yeah, that was Glenn. Incomplete pass. So second down and 10 for the Wildcats at the 33-yard line.
Matthew Mitchell, receiver on the opposite side there, Don.
Cable Glenn. Those guys won't always listen to us when they ask them to turn around. Here's a running play. Davis hits it up in there for about 5 down to the 28-yard line. It'll be third down and 5 for the Wildcats at the Greenville 28. And this would be what you would consider the 4-down territory.
Right. Give it to Davis again. He's having a good night already.
Chad's looking at those stats, kind of cheating a little bit with
our man Ross Labansky is here on the stats tonight.
All right, here's a big third down and 5. Back to Wallace. He fakes. He's rolling to the right. He's getting pursued. A soft pass complete for the first down. Hit C.J. Williams down around the 16-yard line, and that's twice we've seen that soft little touch.
Yes,
I guarantee a couple of years ago, Wallace was throwing everything as hard as he could, and when he wasn't breaking fingers, he had to learn how to pass with touch, and he's doing it beautifully tonight.
Very delicate. Here comes the Hootens Hardware first down again, Don.
From the 16-yard line, first down and 10, Caden Wallace will hand off, running play, and that's going to be down to about the 11-yard line. I believe we had a change in running backs, and that was, J.J. Hall on down to the 11-yard line, and that's a gain of about 5. It'll be second down and 5 for the Wildcats at the Greenville 11.
Wildcats are picking up the pace here, getting to the line quick and snapping the ball, and it's working for them.
I think the defense has got on the wrong bus and ended up in Midlothian or something. Here's a handoff, but the play is blown dead before the play can get underway, so that'll cost the offense 5 for illegal procedure. So that'll bring it back to about the original line of scrimmage, and we'll have second down and 10.
We certainly have to say, Don, that you're right about Caden Wallace a couple of plays ago with that light pass over there. He was being pursued by a Greenville defender and didn't give it up and kept his cool and just passed the ball right over him to make that completion for that last first down.
The coaches have talked about how cool and calm he is, and he shows it. Here's J.J. Hall with a big hole. He bounces to the outside, inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. That's going to be 2 yards short of the first down, so it'll be third down and 2 for the Wildcats down at the Greenville 8. Well, I was talking about the defenses getting on the wrong bus and heading somewhere. The offenses have ruled here. Both teams have had the ball. Well, this is a second Wildcat possession. Everything's led to a touchdown so far, but here's a big third and 2 from the 8-yard line. And now Wallace walking up to the line, communicating with that offensive line. Wallace takes a snap and handoff to Hall again, and he's trying to burst through there. He's down very close to the spot needed.
Handoff to number 2.
And it just depends on the spot. It looks like a yard short, so it's going to be 4th and 1 from about the 7-yard line. It looks like a true yard, too.
Yeah, what do you think's going to happen here, Don? Looks like they're going out there and going for it.
Yeah, the way these teams are playing offense, you couldn't hardly settle for a field goal. Big play here, 4th and 1. A handoff right up the middle to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats, as that was Caden Davis. His second touchdown of the night.
Yes, he just went flying into the end zone, and Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, as Caden Davis just flies over the defender and goes into the end zone for another 6 points. We're waiting on the kick here, Don.
4:27 left here in the first quarter. Wildcats up 13-7 with the extra point pending. Mitchell doing the holding for Josh Tavera. The ball is down. A deep kick by Josh, and it's right through the uprights. So 4:27 left here in the first quarter. A wild one so far. The Wildcats 14 and Greenville 7. We'll take a break. Back in a moment.
Have a flag on the play. Offside against Greenville.
And we're back in Greenville, Don, where it's been a kind of a wild first quarter. 21 points have been scored. Luckily, 14 of them for the Wildcats and only 7 for the Greenville Lions, as the Wildcats come to kick off the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff to the Greenville Lions, they're not lined up very deep again. They're looking for something, aren't they, Don?
Yeah, I just wonder. I don't trust number 3. I can see him. They bid back to the 15, so that's about 5 yards deeper. So let's see how Coach Owens plays it here. And here is a short kick to an open area. Player coming up and just got there in time with Wildcats in hot pursuit, but just kind of kicked it into an open area and tried to get there. But Greenville got there first, but held the Lions to pretty good yardage. It's first and 10 from the 27-yard line for the Greenville Lions.
Yeah, that kick was excellent, so that the Greenville Lions couldn't return it. They just had to fall on it there, and that gives them a little worse field position than what they were hoping for.
That may have been an alternate kicker. I'm going to have to watch that a little bit closer. You remember they did that a lot last year. They had the 2 kickers, and you never knew who was going to kick it. And Stevens back in the shotgun for Greenville now. First down and 10 from the 27-yard line. A running play is hit right away. Maybe, I don't know if there was any gain on the play for Greenville, as that was Miles Denson on the run, and no gain on the play. Second down and 10 from the 27-yard line.
Landry Meskimen in on the tackle with
number 22,
Nick Cantillo.
All right. Yeah, that's a young man that's got a bright future. Second down and 10 now. Here's a snap and a pass down the field, and it's incomplete. Looked like he was going to latch on, but good Wildcats defense as they tried to get it down the field to their best deep threat, Sean Brown, who averages 22 yards a catch.
Well, Wiley Bennett and Robbie Banks were right there to keep him from catching it.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to latch on, so good defense. So here's third and 10 from the 27-yard line. And back Stevens, he fires it again down the field. It's incomplete. Wildcats dived for an interception, but looked like it just went right off the receiver's hands there.
Yeah, they say great pass coverage and a great defense by the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's Sean Brown. He may be the one for Greenville that may end up at Oklahoma. He's my suspect. I really didn't hear a name attached, but he's got all the credentials, and he looks like an Oklahoma Sooner to me. Here's the punt on fourth down for Greenville, a kick out of there. It's going to be away from Matthew Mitchell, and it'll take a Greenville hop and then go out of bounds at the Wildcats' 45-yard line. Good field position for the Wildcats at their own 45. 3:43 left here in the first quarter, and the Wildcats are leading Greenville 14-7. And if it was tennis, you just broke serve of the other team. Now, if you can score every time, you're going to win the game.
Absolutely. They're coming out for the Hootens Hardware first down. Great field position for the Wildcats.
And again, Wallace, the quarterback, with Caden Davis in the backfield from the Wildcats' 45-yard line. And Wallace will fake. He's looking down the field, fires a pass incomplete. Bounced in there on one hop toward the Wildcats receiver. Matthew Mitchell.
That pass was a little short there. That's number 11, the intended receiver.
Matthew Sherman.
And that was Matthew Sherman slipped to try to get back to it, but the pass was a little short, so brings up second down for the Wildcats.
I still remember that one-handed catch that Sherman made in the scrimmage against Mount Pleasant. It would happen right in front of me and made an indelible mark on me that will last a lifetime. However long that might be.
Yeah.
Here's Caden Wallace back in the shotgun. It'll be a running play for the Wildcats, and up to around the 50-yard line goes Caden Davis. And so that is a gain of 5. It'll be third down and 5 for the Wildcats right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, and Langston Bridges was in on that play on this side, lined up as a receiver, Don, which we don't see all the time, but we do sometimes.
All right. And so once again, Wallace back in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to the left side for the Wildcats on this play. Fake to the running back. Wallace rolling to the left. Another soft toss. Ooh, he threw that one a little too soft, and Greenville's guy almost got back and got his hands on it. He did knock it down, but he had kind of hands of a defender that time instead of a receiver.
I think that was number 37 for Greenville. That would have been a very dangerous interception if he had come up with that. But
Davion Wallace, their good linebacker.
He bobbled it and dropped it, thank goodness. But it brings up 4th down and punt time for the Wildcats.
Well, remember about breaking serve?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up.
But there's always the hope of a fake.
I'm always hoping for that.
We've seen that. Back to Wallace. He's going to kick this one and boots it down the field, kicking away. Then he kicked it out of bounds. Let's see what kind of yardage he'll get out of that. It'll go down to the 28-yard line. So inside the 30, not bad for the Wildcats. So Greenville will start. 1st down and 10 from their own 28. 2:54 still left here in the first quarter. Wildcats 14 and Greenville 7 in an entertaining football game in the first quarter.
Yeah, that ball went way out of bounds all the way to the number 6 lane on the track that goes around the field here.
Yeah, I'm just glad he got a lot of yardage before it kind of shanked off there and didn't just shank right off from the side. So once again, Brandon Stevens, a quarterback for Greenville from the 28-yard line. And here's a running play around the left end. Wildcat had the running back and wrapped him up. That would be Otagus Johnson again. And he will be good for about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Lions at their own 30-yard line.
And that was Douglas Deloney that wrapped him up for the Wildcats and took him down and saved considerable yardage because that was the player for Greenville that scored the touchdown last time. So.
You're absolutely right, that long one. So here's the 2nd down and 8, and Stevens fires a pass. Oh, he bounced it in there. You know, in ancient baseball, if you caught a ball on the hop, it used to be an out. But even in football, I don't know that a one hopper has ever been a completed pass.
Not even ancient football. Even.
Leather helmet stuff.
Never on the hop there.
3rd down and 8 now from the 30-yard line. And Greenville has 3 dangerous receivers out to the right side for Stevens. He's back in the pocket. He's getting a rush. He steps up in there and fires the ball down the field. It is caught at the 50. He gets away from the defender across the 40 to the 30 and down to the 20. And the Wildcats finally drag that receiver down at the 11-yard line. Oh, my, as that was caught again by that dangerous Sean Brown.
Yes, he is very quick, Don, and he did a great job of running around the defenders on the Wildcats. That was Wyatt Smithson that finally was in on bringing him down with Nick Cantillo.
Yeah, and it seemed like a whole host.
Yes,
which we've often pondered what makes up a host, but that was it right there. So 1st down and 10 from the 11-yard line for the Greenville Lions, trying to tie it up here. Brandon Stevens back in the shotgun will hand off on a draw play, now sweeping to the left, and Denson's going to try to run it all the way back across the field, and he's going to do it. He's to the 10, to the 5, and touchdown Greenville. My goodness.
My goodness, Don. Very quick running back, and just he probably ran 45 or 50 yards back and forth to get those last 10 yards to get into the end zone.
You're saying he ran 40 yards to score on an 11-yard run.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Just back and forth. Here comes the extra point attempt for the Greenville Lions to try to tie it up.
And kicking for the Lions is O'Neill. The ball is down. The kick is blocked by the Wildcats, and that could be a big point.
There's some advantage for the Wildcats as the Greenville Lions cannot put that other point on the board, so the score remains 14 for the Wildcats, 13 for the Greenville Lions with 1 minute 24 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll take a break and be right back.
I couldn't have said it better.
And we're back at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, where the Wildcats are coming out to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff from the Greenville Lions, who have just scored a touchdown but missed that extra point. That's gonna come back to be very important, Don. I'm thinking. What do you think?
Well, you would think that that's a missed point right there, and And sometimes that can haunt you the whole game. I would not be surprised at some point Greenville may go for 2 to try to make up for that. 1:24 left here in the first quarter, and Wildcats clinging to a 14-13 lead. Here's a deep kick by the Lions. It's taken at the 18, across the 20, the 25, and up around the 30-yard line goes Matthew Mitchell on the return, and they're going to mark it at the 29-yard line. Greenville's drive, their touchdown drive, by the way, was 72 yards. And for the second time tonight, Miles Denson hemmed in one way, reverses, and managed to find a hole as he ran through the Wildcats defense for an 11-yard touchdown run that, like Chad said, went about 40 yards. Wallace takes a snap from the shotgun. Here's a handoff. Davis sweeps to the right, or to the left, excuse me. And a very short gain on the play. Maybe not anything on the play. See where they're going to mark it. Looks like right about on the line. So a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats at their own 30-yard line.
Less than a minute on the clock for the quarter.
So Wallace back in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left, but now 1 in motion, and he's going to take the ball. This is C.J. Williams around the corner, 30, 35, and then knocked down at around the 35-yard line. And that's going to be short. Let's give him an extra yard to the 36. That'll be 3 yards short of the first down for the Wildcats on this big 3rd down and 3 here from their own 36.
The play clock is just a little bit shorter than the time clock, so they're going to have to get this play off before the end of the quarter.
And Wallace back in the shotgun. Trip receivers to the right. Snap back to Wallace. Looking. Now he'll draw across the 35. Wallace with the first down across the 40. He had that ball kind of carrying it out there, but he did a good job of holding on. 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 44-yard line. As they stopped the clock very temporarily to move the chains, and that clock will be rolling again. And let's see, the Wildcats will just let this quarter run out. That is the end of the first quarter here from Cotton Ford Field in Greenville. And the Wildcats of Sulphur Springs 14, the Greenville Lions 13. And we'll take a break. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter right after this.
And welcome back to T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, Don, where the Wildcats are just 1 point ahead of the Greenville Lions, 14-13, as they're doing a pretty good job again of marching down the field as they come out for the next Hooten's Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
You know, Coach Owens and I were kind of saying that this has turned into the Wildcats' really biggest rival
right.
of any team now that they play the Greenville Lions. So many of these games just like this, playoffs on the line, the snap back to Wallace. Here's a running play, Caden Davis forward for about 3 yards for the Wildcats. And that'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats. They're up, it's very near the 48-yard line. Let's give him 4 on that. So 2nd down and 6, let's call it, from the 48-yard line after the run by Caden Davis. Caden Wallace in the backfield takes the snap. And another running play. This time Davis is hit right around the line of scrimmage. I think he moved forward for maybe 1 yard.
It looks like the Greenville Lions saw that one coming, Don.
Yeah, no gain on the play, so it's still 6 yards needed on 3rd down. Let's see what Coach Matt Young can call from the playbook now for the Wildcats on this big 3rd and 6.
Cable Glenn is a receiver on the far side with number 5. Is that C.J. Williams?
C.J.
Yes.
Williams with Mitchell over here on the left. Got the B back in there. Looks like it may be Bridges. And here's a snap. Wallace throws a pass. It's incomplete. Caden Davis could not latch on there. And it would appear to be punt time for the Wildcats.
That was going to be a dangerous play for the Greenville Lions if they could have connected on that, because he had a couple of blockers lined up right ahead of him, but it wasn't to be for the Wildcats. So they're coming down for a big 4th down. Like you say, it's going to be, looks like punt time. I'm not feeling a fake punt on this one, Don, but
I didn't realize you got those feelings.
Well, I do. So sometimes they just come across me. You never know.
And Caden Wallace back there. Let's see if he defies the odds here. He will kick this one, and kicked a low line drive kick and kicking it well away from Denson. And it'll go out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Greenville first down and 10 from their own 28. 10:40 left here in the second quarter, and the Wildcats clinging to that 1-point lead at 14-13. Each team has scored twice the difference. One of those Wildcats, and we'll have to try to identify that. I'm sure Owens can tell us on the coaches show tomorrow. Tell us who blocked that kick.
Right, yeah. Caden Wallace did a good job of fielding that low snap when he punted right before he punted that ball. That could have got away from him.
Stevens, a quarterback now for Greenville. Two receivers left and right with a running back there, and the snap and fake to the running back. And now he's scrambling back there. He's getting rushed, a big rush of Wildcats. He's running forward and is going to be tackled for maybe about a 2-yard loss after all that running around, but the Wildcats did a good job of hemming him in there and dropping him at the Greenville 27-yard line. Loss of 1 on the play. It'll be second down and 11 for the Lions at their own 27.
Thanks to Landry Meskimen to wrap him up. When they start scrambling and running like that, kind of makes me nervous, certainly after that last touchdown.
Yeah, they had some shots to get him deeper down the field, but he's a very athletic runner. He's second best on the team in rushing. Tells me everything I need to know as he's back to pass. Rushed. He throws a pass. It is caught across the 30 and out of bounds at the 34-yard line for Greenville. And that was Miles Denson on the catch.
Yes, and Robbie Hanks knocked him out of bounds there, and so just short yardage there. But
looks like about 4 yards on the catch, so I'll be a third down and 6 for Greenville. They need to get down to the 38-yard line. That looks like some more, like maybe 5 or 6 anyway. Stevens back in the shotgun will take the snap. Back in the pocket. Fires the ball down the field. Incomplete. It was sailed through, and I saw a Wildcat look like he was trying to draw a bead on it, and that's significant because the Wildcats still do not have an interception.
Well, and this is a
and if that doesn't make them get one, I don't know what will. I did my best, Coach.
Right. I thought maybe you had a feeling, Don, that they were about to get
I wish
one.
I did. Punt time for the Lions. And Mitchell back around the 35-yard line in his own territory. The snap a good one. The kick is away. And Mitchell, it's kicked, he just let it go, and Greenville will down the ball at the Wildcats' 29-yard line. So after the offense has got off to a great start, we've kind of had a punting contest lately. But first down and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 29.
Yes, they come out for the Hootens Hardware first down for the Wildcats. You're right.
You know they're much more than nuts and bolts.
I did know that, Don. I was wondering if you heard that rumor. Down in Emory, Texas, Hootens Hardware.
That is a strong rumor, so much that they put it on billboards and stuff and say it on the radio.
And we've got Matthew Mitchell in as quarterback.
And Mitchell will hand off. This is Caden Davis around the corner across the 40, and then he was bumped out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So that'll be good for the first down for the Wildcats at their own 42 after a nice run by Caden Davis.
So the Wildcats switching it up by changing up the quarterback and trying to keep the Greenville Lions on their toes there, and it looked like it worked on that play.
I'll tell you got to watch Mitchell. He's a pretty darn good runner himself. He can really take off, and Mitchell will hand off Caden Davis. Now, Davis started one direction, reversed to the other, but that Greenville defense stayed strong there, and it's going to drop him for a loss back at the 40, loss of 2. It'll be second down and 12. Wildcats have the ball at their own 40-yard line.
J.J. Hall just came in as a running back, looks like, Don.
He's a real spark plug. Coach Owens on the Coaches Show last Saturday talking about J.J. and and the kind of a change-up runner that he is. And those little guys are hard to find among those big offensive linemen sometimes. Fake to J.J. Here's a pass down the field. Receiver, tipped away from C.J. Williams. It looked like he had a chance to get behind and catch it, but a good job by the Greenville secondary to get back there and knock that pass down.
Yeah, I think that was 23 for Greenville. Got a hand on it, just tipped it right out of the hands of the Wildcat.
Garrett Phillips.
So just unfortunate, because that would have been fantastic field position for the Wildcats if he could have picked that up.
I thought that was 8. I thought that was Kenton Anderson. But anyway, a good job by Greenville secondary there. And so now 3rd down and 12. So a big play for the Wildcats. It looked like that was going to click, but that just a good play by a speedy corner that Coach Duke talked about, that he was a speedy guy that could cover speedy receivers, and he had great recovery on that. And here's a big 3rd and 12 for the Wildcats. It's back to Mitchell, and he's going to keep around the right side across the 40 to the 45. Still running hard, but he's going to be trapped short of the first down up around the 47-yard line, and that's going to be about 5 yards short of the first down for the Wildcats. And we'll set up for another punt here.
And Caden Wallace, of course, coming out for the Wildcats to do the punting. So I'm feeling a fake punt on this one. Really not the best field position, but I don't know why. I just told you I get those feelings.
The one they had was terrible field position. We were way down in our own end, but it was just so unexpected. Back to Wallace, and the kick is away. And he's going to again kick the ball away from Denson. It's going to roll out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. So Greenville will have 1st down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Wallace doing a great job of kicking away from a extremely dangerous return man.
Ball's going to be placed at the 30-yard line.
Yes, just kind of average field position for the Greenville Lions. This is kind of what they were used to. When they get the ball, hopefully they want the Wildcat defense will be able to hold them on their end of the field for a little while.
8 minutes left here in the second quarter. Wildcats clinging to a 14-13 lead, but the Lions have the ball. And Brandon Stevens leads the Lions out onto the field. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left for Stevens. He takes a snap, and here's a draw play, and sweeping to the right. And Denson, again, they're trying to hem him on the sideline. He gained some yardage before they bumped him out of bounds. He'll move all the way up for a first down, up around the 42, 43-yard line for 42, let's call it. First down and 10 for the Lions. Again, he looks contained, and they gave him just a little bit of room on that sideline. He sweeps for the first down.
Very quick.
Boy, speed. As Coach Jared Hammock says in baseball, speed never slumps. You always got that. Back to Stevens, and here's a running play right up the middle for Otagus again, the running back. And
yes, and he got wrapped up pretty quick. That was 92 for the Wildcats. Brighton Reuter that made the tackle. He wrapped him up pretty quick, and that's they've just got some very quick running backs. And
3-yard gain on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 from the 45-yard line. I think Otagus Johnson, I believe that's his name.
Yes, 21.
And again, Stevens back in the shotgun will take the snap. And here's another running play to the left by Denson. He gets around the corner, and then he was forced out of bounds a couple of yards short of the first down. Looks like around the 49 or right at, look at that mark, all the way to the 50. That'll be 2 yards short of the first down, 3rd. And now they moved it back to the 49. So a 3rd down and 3, Greenville at their own 49-yard line. So a big play for this Wildcats defense. Stevens has trip receivers out to the right, receiver out to the left. Brandon Stevens will take the snap. He's going to keep it around the right side. Gets across the 50 into the secondary. First down as he's tackled at the 43 in Wildcats territory. Just a good straight running play by a quarterback that has something like 280 yards in rushing this year for Greenville. 2nd on the team. That is quite unusual. but he's that kind of quarterback, got great legs and as well as a strong arm.
The Greenville offense taking their time, getting up to the line of scrimmage. They're being a little bit more methodical on this drive, it looks like, Don.
Got plenty of time on the play clock still. Trip receivers out to the left, receiver to the right on 1st and 10 from the Wildcats 43. Stevens back, sails the ball down the right sideline toward Brown. He caught it, and he will go into the end zone. The only question I had is whether he got out of bounds.
Absolutely. We can
apparently not.
Watch it here on the YouTube replay that's delayed a little bit. So, it looked like he stepped out of bounds to me, but the ref didn't see it. He got the ball and went into the end zone.
And he's right down there. He should see that. So a touchdown pass, Stevens, to Sean Brown for 43 yards. Extra point for Greenville. They try to get a 6-point lead here, and the kick is on the way. It's kick is good. 6:27 left here in the second quarter. New score here from Cotton Ford Stadium. It's Greenville 20 and the Wildcats 14. Again, 6:27 left, second quarter. Back in a moment.
And we're back at Greenville Stadium, TA Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, where the Greenville Lions just went ahead of the Wildcats 20-14. And the Wildcats are coming out to receive.
I don't like the looks of this Greenville kick team. I smell a rat here.
Oh, you think Don thinks that we're going to have an onside. They're taking too much time in setting up the ball and talking about it before they perform the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, which the Wildcats are back to receive with looks like Caden Davis and Matthew Mitchell again. So they're lined up.
Andrew Ibarra. They actually had a different guy holding the ball, but Ibarra is now kicking it. If I'd have known that, I'd change my tune. It went over the Wildcats receivers and creeps into the end zone. And so a touchback for the Wildcats. It'll be 1st down and 10 at their own 25. Yeah, they had the secondary guy, Kenton Anderson, was holding the ball, and it just made me feel like there was something. But he was just hanging on to it for Ibarra, who actually did the kicking.
So Wildcats will be coming out, and there's a penalty against the Greenville Lions, so they'll get 5 more yards out of that one.
Up to the 30.
A little bit better field position for the Wildcats as they come out for the Hootens Hardware 1st down.
And with Caden Wallace back in the shotgun, we'll take the snap and handoff right up the middle there, up to the 34-yard line for the Wildcats. And J.J. Hall on the run. J.J. was always one of my favorites because he's one of the smallest players on the team. And they used him at linebacker last year, but he was one of the best mini linebackers you could ever see, but now at the running back. So here's 2nd and 5 and a fake, and Wallace keeps. He lumbers across the 40, the 45 to the 50, Wallace to the 40 to the 30, inside the 20, and then he was pushed way off the field, almost dunked on the track.
Should be a flag on that one, but I don't see it.
Boy, he got a nice shove as they tried to give some of that cinder track to him. He stepped out at the 13-yard line, and like we were talking last week, Chad, Wallace looks like he's not covering a lot of ground, lumbering and everything, but that's track speed. That guy has run a lot of track, and he can Coach Owen says he's like a train. It takes him a little while to get started, but when he gets rolling, he can roll. 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. The Hootens Hardware 1st down from the 13. And handoff and continuing to fight. I believe that's J.J. Hall down around the 10-yard line. Continuing to battle. And those Lions, I think they finally got him onto the ground.
Yep, number 9.
Yeah, J.J., I'll tell you, there's no quit in him. He's going to be marked down around the 10-yard line. This is a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats at the 10 as the Wildcats try to match the Greenville score. 2 receivers out to the left side for the Wildcats. Their B-back on the left side at the end of the line, and they'll have a running play. And right up in there for the Wildcats, and then dragged down. Almost looked like a horse collar kind of tackle there on Caden Davis, who's down at the 7. And that's going to be about 4 yards short of the 1st down. So here's a 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats at the 7.
big play for the Wildcats here as they're just knocking on the door of another touchdown.
Well, let's see what the Wildcats do on this 3rd down and 7, and they're going to hand off to Caden Davis, and he's down around first down territory. I think he got it.
I think so.
Looks like he's down around the 2.
So that'll give the Wildcats another set of downs as another Hooten's Hardware first down comes up.
First and goal from about the 3 for the Wildcats. So a nice run by Caden Davis. A lot of pressure on that run to gain that first down. Good job of that O-line. They look good tonight to me. And here's Caden Wallace takes the snap, and he hands off. Caden Davis sweeping to the right. Davis hitting in near the goal line, and I don't see the hands up from the officials, so he's going to be down at about the 1 foot line down in there. It'll be 2nd and goal.
He powered in and just tried to drive it in, but there were 3 big Greenville defenders right there, and he hit a brick wall. So could be closer to the 1 inch line down there, Don.
I mean to
right
tell you.
On the goal line.
Oh, is it ever? Yeah, it is. That goal line is casting a shadow over it there. So here's 2nd and goal, and it'll be a running play. Touchdown, Wildcats. And that will be Caden Davis with the 1 inch touchdown run.
Absolutely. Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, as that was C.J. Williams that took the snap there and handed off to Caden Davis. Caden Davis went in untouched to the end zone and put 6 points on the board for the Wildcats. It's tied up 20-20, and here comes the extra point.
We've got 20-20 vision, but only looking back. Extra point now for the Wildcats with Josh Tavera. Good snap. Ball is down. Kick on the way by Josh, and the kick is good. 3:32 left here in the second quarter. A new score here from Cotton Ford Stadium. The Wildcats 21 and Greenville 20. And we'll take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.
And welcome back to the Sulphur Springs Wildcat game, where they're playing the Greenville Lions, and they're up 21-20 over the Greenville Lions. Don, as they come out, the Wildcats are about to kick off after that touchdown. The J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff for the Lions to receive.
And let's see, once again, the receivers at the 20, and Tavera will approach, and he will boot it. This one will be caught, though, at the 23. Look out, running to the right side. Wildcats trying to hem that guy in, and they dragged him down at the 19-yard line. A beautiful play that time for the Wildcats by Cordarian Bull Turner, I believe that was.
Yes, the Greenville Lions, they couldn't make anything out of that. Thank goodness for the Wildcats. They're pushed deep back into their own territory, where they'll start off for their drive with 3:25 left in the half.
And, the Denson with that ball with a little bit of space, and your heart's in your throat. And but they got him down at the 24-yard line. So Lions 1st and 10 from their own 24. Stevens, a quarterback again for the Lions, takes the snap, and he hands off. Denson sweeping to the left, breaking through tackles across the 30, across the 40, before he's finally knocked out of bounds up around the 43-yard line. Boy, when you see him zipping through tackles, you know it's going to be a big play gain, and it is a first down to the Greenville 43-yard line.
Yeah, that was one of those scary plays again. I didn't know if he was going to cut back and break free.
So Stevens, once again in the shotgun, 2 receivers left and right. Will take the snap. He rolls to the right. Looks like he wants to keep trying to get outside. Breaks a tackle, and then only picked up about 1 yard. Again, the sideline was the Wildcats' friend that time. And he had no place to go but just to kind of run it out of bounds after a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Lions at their own 44-yard line. You know, for some reason, we have a backup quarterback. This is Gallet. This is Joseph Gallet is now the quarterback for Greenville.
Number 13.
Yes.
And timeout.
And timeout taken with this, maybe this change. I don't know. We'll see if we can figure out what happened there. 3:11 left here in the second quarter, and it's the Wildcats 21 and Greenville 20. We'll take the break with them, and we'll be back in a moment.
And welcome back to T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, where the Wildcats are coming back out to try to defend against the Greenville Lions.
Yeah, during that timeout, Chad, Gallet, the new quarterback, is busy on the sideline warming up. He's like a relief pitcher trying to get ready. I did not find where Stevens might be on the field. I didn't see him anywhere, so I'm not sure why that they made this quick switch. But here comes the Lions with Gallet, the quarterback, has trip receivers out to the left, one to the right. Fake. Looking down the field, he sails a pass down there, and it is caught by the Lions. Oh, my. Wildcats had really nice coverage there, but just a super catch.
Number 6.
Yes, that was Jaquez Davis.
A huge catch for the Greenville Lions as they move deep into Wildcat territory on that huge play.
That's just a bigger guy going over a smaller guy to make the catch all the way down to the Wildcats' 27-yard line. Back to Gallet. Here's a running play around the right side. Short yardage for Greenville, right down to about the 24 on the running play. And that was a flanker around, I believe.
Looks like their quarterback's back in, the number 4.
Yeah, that running play was by Caleb Johnson, one of the receivers. So for whatever was the problem with Stevens has been rectified. So here's 2nd down and 7 from the 24-yard line. That starter back in there. A running play to the right, to the 20. And once again, the running back all the way into the end zone. That's Otagus Johnson.
He's very quick, Don.
24 yards for the touchdown for Greenville.
He's just hard to stop for that Wildcat defense. Just outrunning all the defenders and made it into the end zone to put the Greenville Lions up 26-21 over the Wildcats with an extra point coming.
Good thing for the Wildcats. 2:09 still left in this wild first half, so the Wildcats a chance to maybe strike back. Here's the extra point for the Lions. Ball is down, the kick on the way, and this kick is good. 2:09 left here in the second quarter. New score here from Cotton Ford Stadium. Greenville 27 and the Wildcats 21. Let's take a break. Back in a moment.
And welcome back to the Sulphur Springs Wildcat game, where the Wildcats, the Greenville Lions actually just scored on the Wildcats 27-21. The Greenville Lions are over the Wildcats right now. It's been a very exciting first half with 2:09 left in the first half. The Wildcats will come out to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. Don.
And once again, the kicker is Andrew Ibarra. And Ibarra, a very big fella, hammers it downfield. It's going to go by the Wildcats receiver and again trickle into the end zone where it'll be a touchback. So the Wildcats will have it out to the 25.
It's in Caden Davis's direction, but wisely chose to not field that. It rolled into the end zone, and a pretty good field position for the Wildcats over probably what would have he had fielded that ball. And let's see who
25-yard line.
Hooten's Hardware first down. It's back. Caden Wallace is back in the game.
Wallace is in there. 2 receivers to the right in tandem. It'll be a running play for the Wildcats up to about the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats after
Caden Davis.
Caden Davis run.
Yep.
And Caden, the workhorse, you get most of those carries. Actually, they've moved it back to a 3-yard gain. So 3 yards, that'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 28-yard line for the Wildcats.
Ross has Caden Davis over 100 yards. So
oh, wow. Very impressive. Caden Wallace takes the snap. He fires the ball out to the right. It is caught across the 30 and gets the first down for the Wildcats on a nice catch there by Cable Glenn, I believe it was.
Very, very close, but they are moving the sticks, so they're calling it a first down. And
right on the line, the 35-yard line, so right at the 10 yards needed. Wildcats first down and 10. Hooten's Hardware first down. Back to Caden Wallace. He hands off Davis around the right side. Short gain on the play. Maybe just about 1 yard on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats at their own 36.
Wildcats using that really quick offense, getting up to the line, snapping the ball. Didn't fool the Greenville Lions that time. Let's see what they can do.
And everybody looking at those wristbands. Caden Wallace back in the shotgun on 2nd and 9, and it'll be a running play. Good job of breaking tackles, and then Caden Davis looks like he slipped as much as anything trying to make a move up around the 42-yard line. Going to be 3 yards short of the first down for the Wildcats, who will now take a timeout with 40 seconds left here in the second quarter. We'll take the break with them as the Wildcats trailing Greenville 27-21. Back in a moment.
And we're back where the Wildcats just took their timeout, coming back on the field. 40 seconds left in the half, and the refs missed a face mask on Caden Davis on that last play, Don.
Oh, my goodness.
I saw it. Caden Davis felt it, but the guy in the black and whites.
Caden Wallace takes a snap. He's going to draw a good run. First down across the 50 to the 45, and then knocked off his feet down around the 43-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. And again, Wallace, that draw play has been very effective for the Wildcats against Greenville tonight. And we have another stoppage in play, another timeout here. 34 seconds left here in the second quarter. Greenville leading the Wildcats 27-21. Back in a moment.
And the Wildcats back on the field, wisely taking one of their last times out, but they still have one left, Don.
Greenville has 2, by the way. I don't know if that'll matter anyway, but here's the Wildcats on first down and 10, and it's a fake, and Wallace back to pass, wants to go for all of it. Long pass downfield is going to be intercepted at the goal line, and that once again, that's Kenton Anderson back in that secondary, and the Wildcats go for broke down there, and Anderson intercepts it right on the goal line, so the Wildcats are thwarted, and Greenville will have first and 10 at their own 20.
Yeah, and fortunate for the Wildcats, that defender number 8 is very quick, and he got to the ball before the Wildcats could. Not much time left for the Greenville Lions to go 80 yards down the field, but they do have, like you said, two timeouts on their side, 24 seconds as they come out for their first down, first and 10.
Give it to 3. That pass receiver for the Wildcats on that long pass was Matthew Mitchell. So here's Stevens. Let's see if Greenville just takes a knee here, or whether they try to go for something long. They're going to fake, and they're going to throw deep. They're throwing for Sean Brown, overthrew him. I bet that's hard to do. Yes. Pretty good coverage back there by Matthew Mitchell. Incomplete pass. There's still 18 seconds left. Greenville going for the whole enchilada.
Yeah, it looked
with
like
salsa.
That ball, he sailed that down the field, and I didn't think he could outthrow that receiver of his, because the receiver's pretty fast. And I don't know if he could throw it that far, but he threw it all the way down the field and didn't connect, thankfully, for the Wildcats. But only used up 6 seconds. It's down to 18 seconds in the half.
Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line with Stevens from the shotgun. Trip receivers out to the left. A running play right up the middle. And the Wildcats will give him 6 yards all day long as the clock has been stopped with 12 seconds left. Somebody has called timeout here. I bet the Greenville Lions have. So a timeout by Greenville. 12 seconds, all that's left here in the second quarter. Greenville leads the Wildcats 27-21. Back in a moment.
And we're back in Greenville where the Wildcats are down 21-27. The Greenville Lions have the ball. Only 12 seconds left in this half. And the Greenville Lions have one timeout. They've been using 6 seconds per play, so you would think they have 2 plays left. And looks like it's going to be a big pass play to me.
Yeah, I would look for number 11, kind of what we saw a while ago on the overthrown pass. I probably see that call again. Trip receivers out to the left side now for Brandon Stevens. He's back to pass. He's getting a big pass rush. He's scrambling back and now fires it out of there. It's caught by Sean Brown. Makes a move at the 35 across the 40, and then several Wildcats catch up to him and make the catch at the 46-yard line. And so that's going to complete the first half. The only thing that would give any more plays would be if there was a flag. The officials are talking there, so let's hold everything and see if we're going to get an announcement or something.
They said there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, let's see. Here we go.
He's talking to the Greenville coach down there.
Coach Duke coming out. An offside on the Wildcats. That'll obviously be declined, but I guess they get one more wait a minute.
Right, they get one more play. It can't end on a defensive foul.
So they'll take the penalty so they can have one more play, even though they lost some yardage, but that would have been the end of the first half.
Right.
So from the 31-yard line for Greenville now, first down and 10. And the clock is already ready for the third quarter, I guess, or it's getting ready for the band performance or something in just a few minutes. But this is basically a dead ball as far as the clock is concerned, a dead clock play. It's just one final play here for all the marbles here. And this looks like a knee play or something by Greenville. I think they're just going to... And no, back to pass. And Stevens being rushed is getting around the corner, 30, 35, 40, and then really takes a shot banged out of bounds between about the 47-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first half. As a wild first half here and a good one with both teams showing a lot of offensive oomph. And we've played 2 quarters, and Greenville leads the Wildcats by the score of 27-21. It's halftime.
Yes, we'll be moving into our halftime show. We'll see. Of course, the Wildcat Band will not be here as the visiting bands are not performing at these ball games, and we'll hear the Greenville Band in the background. But we'll take a break and hear from some of our halftime sponsors. Your halftime of Wildcat football is brought to you by Galleon Insurance, Sulphur Springs Floral, Century 21 Hometown, and the Hall Oil Company. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back in a moment with Ross with Stats, talking with Don.
We are at the half from Cotton Ford Stadium, where Greenville leading the Sulphur Springs Wildcats by the score of 27-21. The Wildcats led 14-13 after the first quarter, but Greenville outscored the Wildcats in that second quarter by 14-7 to give Greenville that 6-point lead, and only 6 because of a blocked extra point that the Wildcats have on their side of the ledger. With us, Ross Lubinsky now. Ross has been crunching the numbers during that first half. And Ross, tell us a little bit about, I guess let's just start with Greenville. You got the Greenville numbers for us?
Absolutely, I sure do. So the Greenville has not only outscored the Wildcats, they have also outgained the Wildcats. The Greenville Lions currently sit at 316 total yards, whereas the Wildcats are just south of that at 262. So it's, as the score would indicate, it's a pretty tight battle.
Yeah, I'd say the statistics pretty well match the scoreboard on that. That's about what you'd expect. Boy, that's a ton of yards for a first half, and good production by the Wildcats, who have seen their offensive production beginning to increase after they quit playing Murderers Row that they had at the first of the year with Frisco Wakeland, and followed that by Lovejoy, which still 6-0 going into this weekend, and then North Forney game. They were 6-0 after going into the game tonight. So just a real tough ledger, and until they ran into Corsicana, and then their stats kind of perked up a little bit, but still averaging less than 300 a game. So to be at 250 already, that's very good. How about individually for Greenville? Who impressed you in that first half numbers-wise?
Well, I would have to definitely give a shout-out to Miles Denson. You mentioned before the game that he would probably get a lot of carries, and boy howdy, he has shown out in the first half. Miles Denson, and also I got to give a shout-out to their quarterback, number 4, Brandon Stevens. I mean, both are super dynamic. When we met with the coaches this week, they talked endlessly about how talented and how quick and how athletic all these skill positions players were. And unfortunately, Coach Owen said one of the keys to victory today was tackling and blocking. And what better example of, unfortunately, a lack of tackling than that end around 12 yards to the house that you said was 40 yards. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate because a lot of times in the first half what you would see is the Wildcats were right there, right at the doorstep of making a stop or making a play to get off the field. But unfortunately, that athleticism of the Lions have just really shown out in the first half.
Well, you know, there's no substitute for the experience. And Brandon Stevens, third year as the starting quarterback for the Greenville Lions. And as I talked to Coach Duke this week, he was talking about a couple of years ago how that Stevens was kind of thrown into the fire, maybe perhaps a little bit more than maybe he was ready. It was kind of, he usually in football you wait your turn. But, he's been more than ready since he sees that quarterback position. And having that experience back there, quarterback, that is really invaluable.
Absolutely. And you're totally right. I mean, and you could say the same about the Wildcats. I mean, what we've seen of Caden Wallace and how his play, just you were talking about, has increased. The productivity has increased. Unfortunately, what the Wildcats really need, unfortunately for the Wildcats, again, the Lions have been able to do really well, is stay consistent, stay on the field, get those first downs so you can really tire out the opposing defense.
Well, let's talk about the Wildcats. You mentioned 250 yards. Chad had mentioned somewhere in that second quarter somewhere that you already had Caden Davis at over 100 yards. That's impressive, as he had 133, I think, last week. So he's really beginning to turn it on as a senior.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's just really showing up, and really just putting the team on his back. And I mean, Caden Wallace, he had, 100 yards rushing in the first half. I mean, he really is putting the team on his back. And unfortunately, his passing numbers aren't quite there. That he only has 20 passing yards in the first half. But all the productivity on the ground has been probably a sight for sore eyes for Coach Owens.
And looked like Caden Wallace also had some good moments running. Did you have a total for him rushing in that first half?
Sure did. Caden Wallace ended up with 98 yards rushing, so just south of 100.
My goodness. So he is becoming a bigger and bigger offensive part of the Wildcats, big part of the Wildcats offense, bigger part, with that ability to run. And as I said during the first half, that little draw that he's doing has really been a valuable play.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right. It's not only draw for the quarterback, but also what you'll see in that play is that the running back immediately goes to set the first block so that then Caden Wallace can take about 5-10 extra yards. So I think that's been really helpful for him. I think what Caden Wallace needs to do to get his passing numbers up a little bit is what we've seen in previous weeks. A lot of bootlegs, a lot of quick pass out to the flats, to J.J. Hall, Caden Davis, to really kind of get that ball quick and moving north and south, because when they start moving east and west, that's when the Lions defense starts to come in and tackle them.
Well, you said 250. What's the breakdown between rushing and passing for the Wildcats in that first half? I'm giving Ross a whole lot of Q&A here.
No problem. So they have 242 yards on rushing, but 262 total, so just 20 passing yards.
20 passing yards. I think you had mentioned that before. It got eluded me, but it sounded familiar when I heard it again. So the Wildcats really doing the job on the ground. And, it would. I know they've taken some shots. They had the interception down there right at the goal line where, and a lot of those plays looked like they were going to click, and just tremendous. Sometimes you just have to pat the opponent on the back and say that kid made a good play. And whether it be knocking the ball down one time and then the interception on the other, thrown down the field. So, the Wildcats need to kind of get more two-dimensional where they're, not only running the ball well but also passing as well.
Absolutely, and we saw a little bit of this in the first half. But don't be surprised if we see a lot more passes to Matthew Mitchell. I've seen a number of times on a number of plays he's been all out alone on the left or on the right, and he's practically screaming at the quarterback to look his way. So I would not be surprised if you see a lot more passes to him and a lot just quick passes in general.
Yeah, definitely. Matthew Mitchell, he gets our Swiss Army knife award for this season. Like Noe Ponce was last year. Just you need a guy to do anything. you call on Matthew Mitchell. He's all over the field, just plays on every team, seems like. Let's go ahead and take a break here. We'll come back with more of the half right after this. As Ross Lubinsky and I talk here, stats at the half. Again, Greenville leading the Wildcats 27-21 at the half. I think about the Wildcats marching band, and this is, it's kind of a continuation. I almost said October because that used to be traditionally when we weren't in a pandemic and everything was all messed up. October used to be the contest month. Well, now it's all happening, looks like, in November. And so the Wildcats Marching Band will be at a contest at Salina High School tomorrow. And I'm not sure what time that performance is, but hopefully that information is available somewhere. If we can get our hands on it, we'll certainly let you know. A lot going on in Band World. On the 17th of November, the band will be hosting the UIL Region Contest, 1A, 2A, 4A, and 5A. And at that one on the 17th, Sulphur Springs High School performance, 3:30 p.m., and then that's a regional contest, and if they qualify for area, they get to do that on December the 5th. So a lot going on with that Wildcat Band, and we're certainly glad to keep people apprised of that. As Ross, we consider the second half, and I believe Greenville won the toss, and they deferred, so they will receive the ball first, start the third quarter.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and don't be surprised if we see a lot more of Brandon Stevens passing. I didn't mention this when we were talking a moment ago, but the Lions have 316 total yards through the first half, and 175 are through rushing. So 175 rushing, about 150 passing. So, again, very balanced offense, and in a perfect world, the Wildcats could start to do the same.
Yeah, that it would have been a toss-up as to which way you would have thought it would have been looking at that first half, because they obviously had some incredibly long runs, but then they, had incredibly long passes too, and it about what you'd expect. And as a coach, you'd have to smile looking at those figures. That is, that's run and pass really balanced, and it's tough on the defense to defense that.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And one of the things we were talking about with the coaches last week and before the win versus Corsicana is they were talking about how they always wanted fresh legs on the ground for the defense. They were happy to have DeAndre Peoples back for that exact reason, so they could always incorporate new players in to kind of keep things fresh. And with an offense that's this dynamic, to be quite honest with you, I don't know what they can do. Hopefully, they can just keep rotating guys out, keep them as loose as possible, but. It's going to be tough. They've got to really start challenging wide receivers and not let them give up the big plays.
Yeah, that almost all the position groups go quite deep, especially on the O line and D line. You really try to rotate a lot of guys through there, so you don't just have two or three players just worn out by the end of the game, where you get a lot of substitution time and that sort of thing. So our coaches big believers in that, even though we don't have the numbers of a big 6A or something, but at the same time they do try to utilize quite a few people at all the position groups just for that reason.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Coach Guieta said when we met with him earlier this week, he mentioned the fact that this offense has a very high. He almost confirmed the fact that they were going to get beat once or twice deep, but he said the team just had to keep their head held high, keep poise, and keep calm under pressure. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the second half.
Well, if you don't tell the players that, the first time they get beat, the heads drop, and they just feel like. But if the coach says, look, it may happen, but you've got to just keep playing every play hard and just kind of try to forget that as you continue to play the game, because you can't just let a couple of plays get you down. And sometimes being down and one big play leads to a couple more. So you have to kind of keep that attitude going.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And all the coaches said this week, just be thankful. Be thankful for the opportunity to play football, because with all that's happening, not only in the high school sphere, but now that we're seeing in the college sphere and the pro sphere, it makes me all the more happy that we even have the opportunity to be out here to cover these games, because it really is a privilege.
Well, I'm hearing that from more and more coaches. I was talking to Coach Cipolletta. Their basketball season starts tomorrow at 4 o'clock in our gym. We'll be doing that game, by the way. Shameless plug. But the thing is, Cipolletta said the same thing. Hey, we're practicing today, and I'm glad, because you just never know about tomorrow. I can remember that Hallsville game. We're ready to go. You're ready. I'm ready. Pregame show and doing all that kind of stuff. And then Thursday night, it blows up. But looks like both the teams are getting back onto the field here. Let's take time out and come back with the start of the second half right after this.
And welcome back to TA Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, Texas, where the Wildcats are coming out to kick off the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff as the Greenville Lions won the toss at the beginning and deferred, correct?
That is correct.
And so they'll be receiving the kickoff of this. And special thanks to Ross Lebansky, who did a fantastic job on our stats and has done a fantastic job as an intern at the KSST radio all this time. Wouldn't you say, Don?
Oh, I would absolutely agree with that.
And so here comes the kickoff, Don.
And Josh Tavera has it teed up. The Lions, again, are at their own 25-yard line, and he's going to pooch it short. It's taken at the 30. I don't understand that. That's kind of playing with the Lion, a real good return, as you would expect for Greenville, as that was taken by Caleb Johnson, and he ran it all the way down to the Wildcats' 40-yard line.
Thank goodness for Bryant Sanchez, who was on the tackle getting him out of bounds there. And that puts the Greenville Lions already in Wildcat territory, I'm afraid.
Yeah, at the 41-yard line. I mean, I don't know why you don't just hammer that one away, but it was kicked short right to the guy. I don't know. I didn't understand that. But first down and 10 for Greenville in Wildcats territory, and Brandon Stevens, the quarterback, as we start the third quarter. And there's a snap, and it's a handoff. Denson to the left side, and Denson moving forward for several yards. He's going to be down to about the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3, so second down and 7. And that time he had pursued past a Wildcat, and he was trying to make a move, and that Wildcat got him from behind and really laid the wood to him there. And so a gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7 for Greenville at the Wildcats' 38.
The Greenville Lions certainly wanting to make something happen here as they're up over the Wildcats 27-21 as the clock ticks 11:13 left in the third quarter.
Well, we mentioned it from the get-go. Let's say it again. Congratulations to Coach Bailey Dorner and the Lady Cats volleyball team winning the district championship tonight with a victory over Longview. And here's Denson running again, and he's right at the stick. But they'll say he went out of bounds at about the 33. That'll be 2 yards short. So it'll be 3rd and 2 for Greenville at the Wildcats' 33-yard line. That guy is, as an announcer that I admired once said, he's quick as a hiccup.
The Wildcats really need an important stop right here at 3rd and 2. Try to keep the Greenville Lions away from the first down.
That was the fabulous Baylor announcer, Frank Fallon, one of his favorite sayings. Loved to listen to Frank back in the day. Here's a fake, and now Stevens will fire a pass. Oh, his receiver looked open, but he really, I bet he would want a gimme on that one. Wanted a mulligan. He was trying to hit Sean Brown.
He just threw it too short.
Yeah, it just skimmed in the ground, and Brown looked wide open in there.
He didn't even catch it on one hop, which still would not have been good, Don. We've established that would not have been good. And it's 4th and 2 for the Lions. It looks like they're going to go for it here, because they're kind of in that 4th down territory. What do you think?
Yeah, you nailed it. And here comes Greenville on the 4th and 2 from the 33-yard line. Big play for the Wildcats defense. Stevens back will take it, and he's trying to run forward. Oh, he does. He's into that secondary and found some holes from that Greenville line and got a first down all the way down to the 24-yard line. First down and 10 for the Greenville Lions.
He followed some good blocking going right up the middle there, and you said he ran for several yards, but actually he just kind of trotted. He was waiting for those blockers to keep pushing the guys out of the way, and he just stumbled in for a first down.
Yeah, did a great job of reading where his hole was and just being patient rather than just full bore ahead. And back to Stevens, and a running play around the left and a big hole, and another first down for Greenville down to about the Wildcats' 12-yard line. I believe that was Otagus Johnson.
It was. I don't see the Wildcat defender that took him down, but thank goodness he did, because there was just a lot of open real estate ahead of him. He could have made it into the end zone, because he's quick. We've said it before. He's a very quick runner.
The Coach Duke may have found something with that young man. He seemed like kind of late onto the scene. But had a big ball game last week, as I recall. So here's a snap and a handoff, and right up the middle goes Denson, and he's down around the 5-yard line before he's tackled. That's 2 yards short of the first down. So another good Greenville run, and they have the offense really cranked up here, especially the run game down to the Wildcats 5 on 2nd down and 2.
They
and
pick up another one here.
Yes, indeed. And they've broken 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, with a running back there with Stevens, and he'll take, and he's again probing, and touchdown Greenville. He once again got great blocking from that Greenville offensive line, and they go 59 yards for a touchdown, and capped off by the run by their veteran quarterback Brandon Stevens for the run for Greenville.
Yeah, they're up 33-21 over the Wildcats now, Don, as we wait for the extra point.
Well, one of these was blocked. The Wildcats would like to get another here. This is a high snap, and it was blocked again and picked up by Greenville. But and that time I have a fairly good idea who blocked that one. I believe that was Robbie Hanks, I believe. As I was digging for my glasses, I took my eyes off for just a second. But I believe Robbie Hanks got the block on that extra point. That's 2 that the Wildcats have blocked, so the lead is 12 points. 9:25 left here in the third quarter. Greenville 33, the Wildcats 21, and we'll be back in a moment.
And welcome back to the Greenville Wildcat game. The Greenville and the Wildcats, the Greenville Lions and Sulphur Springs Wildcats. 33-21, the Lions over the Wildcats as they come out. The Wildcats are going to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff.
And Ibarra, again, the big kicker, puts the foot into it. A deep kick deep into the end zone. Caden Davis just let it sail over his head. You were talking about that. It was interesting, Chad.
He has no problem kicking it out of the end zone, does he?
Greenville game. When I was living on the West Coast, and the Cowboys would be playing the 49ers, they would say, "You're going to be watching the 49ers game tomorrow?" And say, "No, I'm going to be watching the Cowboys game tomorrow."
Absolutely. The Wildcats come out to the 25-yard line for the Hootens Hardware first down. Don.
Wasn't always real popular out there in Northern California back then when the Cowboys were winning those Super Bowls. Here's a running play for the Wildcats. Caden Davis up to 5-yard gain from the 25 to the 30. And so 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats, and this is a very important drive. They're down by 12. They really need to get back in this football game down by 12. And 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right for Caden Wallace. That running back with him, and now he'll move one of the players to the right, and it will be a running play for Caden Davis. And Davis did a good job of gaining yards. They're going to mark him back at the 39. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Wildcats. So a big play. They need to convert this to keep this drive alive here.
They're up to the line quickly. They're really moving a lot faster now, Don.
Yeah, they've had good tempo tonight. They're about the 8:30 mark of the third quarter, trailing 33-21. Caden Wallace back in the shotgun. No quick snap, though. So they kind of slow things down a little bit on this important 3rd and 1 play. Trip receivers out to the right, and Wallace will hand off. Davis hitting into the secondary. Davis across the 50, dragged down from behind across the 50-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, great run by Caden Davis as he had some great help on that offensive line, making a big hole, and he's into Greenville Lion territory now.
Hootens Hardware, 1st down from the 47-yard line in Greenville territory. Caden Wallace, the quarterback, takes the snap and hands off, and Davis hits in there again across the 45 to the 44. That'll be a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 as the Wildcats really just kind of turning loose the ground attack here without finding too much yardage to be had through the air. They are really concentrating. 2 receivers left and right in tandem for the Wildcats. Back to Wallace. He's going to sail the ball downfield, caught in the secondary, down to about the 32-yard line for the Wildcats. Nice pitch and catch there for the Wildcats.
Number 5.
That is C.J. Williams, the good sophomore slot receiver He is a star of the future for the Wildcats, one of the younger skill players that they have.
That moves the sticks and brings up another Hooten's Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
They're at their Greenville 32-yard line. Wallace takes the snap. He fakes and fires an out pattern. Incomplete. Went sailing through receiver's hands. It'll be second down and 10.
That was intended for Cable Glenn. Cable Glenn got turned around on that one and just couldn't hold on to it. It went off incomplete.
Second down and 10 from the 32-yard line after that incomplete pass. And the Wildcats have to make up for that now from the Greenville 32. Wallace back in the shotgun will take the snap. They'll go back to the running play, and that one was really stuffed there as Wildcats try to run. I believe that was once again Caden Davis. Davis, the carrier. No gain on the play. Third and 10 for the Wildcats. They don't want to bog down yet. They got to keep going here. I would say they're definitely in what I would call four-down territory, but you want to get a significant amount of that 10 yards. You don't want to leave yourself third and long. 3 or even fourth and long, and now here's Wallace with a draw play, and he runs to the outside after the up the middle was blocked and gained some pretty good yardage. It's going to not be nearly enough for the first down, as they're going to mark the ball at the 27-yard line, and so they need about 5 or about 4. So 4th and 4 for the Wildcats from the 27-yard line.
And they're going for it. They're lining up to go for it right now, of course. I thought there was something different on that last play. Carson Fenton had lined up as a receiver. But
yeah, that B-back is quite can do a lot of things. And here's a fake and a double fake, and Wallace ends up with a ball, and he's tackled at the 25-yard line, and that'll be short of the first down, as it did not fake out that Greenville defense. They stayed at home and made the play as the Wildcats go over on downs.
Yeah, that one kind of faked me out, Don. I was looking the wrong way, and Caden Wallace kept the ball. The Greenville Lions were not fooled by that.
I just thought that the receiver coming around was going to get the ball, and I was quite surprised when he didn't. And Caden Wallace, he would think that would fake him out, but they did a good job of staying at home. First down and 10 for Greenville at their own 25-yard line. Stevens will hand off, and that play is stuffed by the Wildcats. Good Wildcats
Very
defense.
Good defense. Yes, they wrapped him up in the backfield, and they're going to drop him for a loss back there.
Actually, no gain on the play. Second down and 10 as they stuffed it right at the line of scrimmage as the officials marked the ball. So second down and 10, again, Greenville from the 25. I would order 3 more of those, or a couple more Wildcats defense. See if that'll work. Second down and 10 for the Greenville Lions. Stevens back in the shotgun for Greenville. Takes a snap. Here's a handoff. Denson sweeping to the left. Breaks the tackle. He gets out of another tackle. He's around the corner. First down across the 40-yard line. What a jitterbug he is. And he stepped out of bounds at the 39-yard line. First down and 10 for Greenville in their own territory.
Stepped out right before Cordarian Turner wrapped him up. I think he didn't want to get tackled by him, and he just took the easy way out of bounds. But it is first and 10 for the Lions.
You're saying he made a Dion business decision.
Absolutely.
2 receivers out to the right, receiver to the left. First down and 10. It'll be a run right up the middle. Breaking tackles out to the outside, across the 50. Denson again. And even put the old straight arm. Boy, you don't see many players using the stiff arm anymore.
Right.
But the stiff-armed Wildcat player, that would be Caden Eaton on the corner.
Yes, Caden Eaton pushed him out of bounds right there.
45-yard line in Wildcats territory. First down and 10 for the Lions, who are not sleeping tonight, despite what the tokens may have told you. That boy, I'm the only one old enough to remember that.
I'm surprised.
Here's Stevens a pass. It is caught, and then a good secure tackle by the end of the Wildcat secondary, but a gain on the play of about 7 yards to the 38-yard line.
26 on the tackle for the Wildcats. Robbie Hanks again, of course.
So that was a gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3 for Greenville. And I think the player that caught that is limping off the field. That's Caleb Johnson.
Yes.
Another one of the really quality receivers between Johnson, Denson, and Sean Brown. They have a real three-headed monster receiving corps. If the left hand don't get you, the right one will. I think that was from boxing. Here's a sweep to the right for Greenville. Around the corner, down inside the 30. Another first down for the Lions. Denson is the once again the usual suspect as he gets it down to the 26 in Wildcat territory. First down and 10.
He hit a Wildcat brick wall named Brighton Reuter on that one and couldn't get it any further, but it was enough for the first down.
Wildcats having a real hard time in this quarter now, really slowing Greenville down. They made some adjustments, looks like, at halftime, really working. From the 26, another running play, and this one was good, well defensed. Gain of about 1 yard on the play for the Lions, and that was Atticus Johnson.
Yes, very, very short gain there. Wyatt Smithson wrapping him up and taking him to the ground.
Smithson, one of the leading tacklers, along with Carrillo and Meskimen, all those linebacker guys, and then Bull Turner. They're the leading tacklers. And so here's second down, and let's call it 9 from the 25. And here's Atticus Johnson around the corner. First down for Greenville, and heading to the end zone. He will score as he broke tackles. A 25-yard run for Atticus Johnson. And he's had a couple tonight, several touchdowns.
Just that very quick runner and able to spin and get out of those tackles and just get into the end zone for the Lions. Tough to stop for the Wildcats.
This has been a bad quarter for the Wildcats as Greenville has tacked on a couple of touchdowns.
And they're going for 2, it looks like.
They're trying to make up for 2 missed extra points kicking. And so they're going to try for 2, and now the ball is prematurely snapped, but a flag flies. I think the center was the only one ready to rumble. Nobody else was moving, and so it's a false start. That'll cost them 5. And see what Greenville does here. As the ball moves back, this will be an 8-yard extra point instead of the 3. It looks like, see if they continue to want to go for it here.
I think they're going to call timeout, looks like. No, they're going to switch out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to maybe, go for the kick.
Yep.
Yeah, the kicker's in there. This is O'Donnell, Archer O'Donnell. Will be now trying to kick it.
Official moves the ball to the center of the field, give him a little holding shot there.
Holding for him is Garrett Phillips, a late addition to the team.
They're going to go ahead and run this play with 11 men on the Greenville team, it looks like.
So here we go, a 25-yard field goal in effect, and the kick on the way is good. He plugged it right through there. O'Donnell with a good kick for the long extra point. New score here from Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville. It's the Greenville Lions 40 and the Wildcats 21. 3:46 left here in the third quarter. Back in a moment.
And we're back at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, where the Greenville Lions are up over the Wildcats 40-21. The Wildcats having a tough time in the third quarter here with 3:46 left. The Wildcats come out to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. And Don, I reached back in my Greenville sports heritage and all of my wisdom and got a little information on why this stadium is named that. I'll tell you that in a little bit. Also, I may have Googled it, but go ahead.
Here's Ibarra with a kickoff for the Wildcats, a deep kick, and again it's going to hit on the 3 and going into the end zone. Wildcats letting it go in there. And I can't wait another second.
Well, it's this field, as our YouTube watchers can see, has the track around it, the kind of what I would call an old-style football field with a track around it. And Mr. T.A. Cotton Ford was a track and field coach,
a
long-time track and field, and an assistant football coach.
Oh, there you go.
The Wildcats come out for the Hootens Hardware first down.
And Jaden Wallace, big drive for the Wildcats, down 19. They've got to get something going, and they'll try a running play into the left side of the line.
Number 9.
Yeah, that's J.J. Hall on the carry, and J.J. picks up 5. It'll be a second down and 5 for the Wildcats at the 30-yard line.
I didn't mean to interrupt there, Don, but we're kind of a little farther away from the field, and it's harder to see. But I use these wonderful binoculars that my wife got me that so I can see these numbers a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a good plan. And Wallace back in the shotgun, talking wristbands there with J.J. Hall, and he will fake and now keep. Wallace across the 30 and goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, which is the line needed for the first down. And
looks like he got it to me, but I've been wrong with these officials several times tonight, so we'll see if they're moving the sticks.
Yeah.
That's a first down for the Wildcats. Another Hooten's Hardware first down coming up for the Wildcats.
It's from the 35. The guy in the white hat gave it the eyeball there and ruled the first down and said, move those chains, boys. So first down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Caden Wallace back in the shotgun. Two receivers left and right. Looking down the field now, he's flushed out of the pocket. A flag flies. Wallace scrambles, but he's going to be tackled at the 32. A loss of 3, so I don't know how many bad things can happen on a play like that. Probably holding.
Holding against the Wildcats.
Yes, indeed. And then a loss of 3 on the run. Coach Duke says, push him back, way back. Coach Duke, his claim to fame before he became, he's been a head coach at several places like Conrad. I think he founded that program, started it. But he was a defensive coordinator, so he loves this Lions defense.
First and 20 for the Wildcats. My goodness.
Yeah, back to the 25. And so the Wildcats now, on top of everything else, they've got to overcome a major penalty. Trip receivers out to the right for Caden Wallace. Wallace fires to the right. The ball is caught across the 25, across the 30. Nice gain on the play, and out of bounds at the 23 for the Wildcats.
And also the coach for the Greenville Lions, I think he's the one, you probably talked about this in the pregame show, he came up with this zone idea for the playoffs.
Yeah, we talked about that some. They were kicking around ideas, and other districts were using it, but he kind of figured out which team should go where. That was very smart. Here's Wallace with a pass. It's caught in the secondary by Sherman, and he's all the way up to the 50-yard line. Nice catch by Matthew Sherman. And first down and 10 for the Wildcats right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, Sherman did a great job of dodging a tackle there and getting a few extra yards to put the Wildcats right on the 50-yard line for the Hooten's Hardware first down.
Yeah, the district was at a dilemma because Crandall and the Wildcats were beginning to rack up the losses because of the coronavirus. Needed a solution. They found it. Here's a running play. I believe that's J.J. Hall again, and this one's going to be a loss of a couple of yards for J.J. So second down and about 12 at the 48-yard line.
The Greenville Lions saw that play coming there and wrapped him up, and then we've got a player that looks like he lost his helmet. He's going to check out for a play over there on the Wildcat sideline, number 62.
Yeah, once that helmet comes off, you got to hit the sideline, as that was Olavide, Fredo in the offensive line. A loss of actually 1, so second down and 11 for the Wildcats at their own 49. Caden Wallace sends a man in motion across in front of him. Now fires a pass complete to Matthew Sherman. He's got a man on his back. He leans forward for about a yard to the 50-yard line. So it'll be third and 9 for the Wildcats at the 50. Actually, third and 10. That's where they started.
They're just back to the original line of scrimmage there. And you're going to have to make a big play here.
They have trip receivers off to that right side and a single receiver all by his lonesome to the left side. Running back there with Caden Wallace on this big third and 10. Fake. He fires down the field. Oh, incomplete. It was in there and then just popped out.
Cable Glenn, the intended receiver.
So Glenn was unable to hang on there on the pass, and so it's fourth down and probably time to punt for the Wildcats unless they decide to, again, try that fake.
Well, they're lining up like they're going for it right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, they're down by 19. They've got about a quarter to go, and they've had a terrible time stopping Greenville. You've got to boy, this is a big gamble here, and a fake, and Wallace is rolling to the right, looking down the field, will fire a pass down the field, incomplete, over the head of intended receiver, who was trying to break free from some pretty tight coverage, and the Wildcats go over on downs with 56 seconds left in what has been a miserable third quarter for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the Greenville Lions are up 40-21 over the Wildcats, and
yeah, this has been a 13-0 quarter, and we're not through yet. And that Greenville offense has looked really good in the second half. 2 drives and 2 scores. And they have, had some gappers. I mean, really long plays, I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Again, Stevens will take the snap, and he runs through there, again, looking for the open spots, does a good job of gaining about 6 before he took some pretty good licks down in there after a gain of 6, second down and 4 from the Wildcats' 44-yard line. Just 40 seconds left here in quarter number 3.
Ryan Carrillo on the tackle there for the Wildcats.
Wildcats have to figure out a way, if they want to play any football beyond December 4th, they're going to have to figure out how to come back in this one in the fourth quarter. Stevens back in the shotgun. Will take the snap and hand off to Denson. Denson running in there. Oh, a good secure tackle there for the Wildcats.
But enough for the first down for the Greenville Lions.
The 38-yard line in Wildcats territory.
First down and 10, Greenville.
Yeah, that was a real good secure tackle, as Denson was really beginning to look for the long play. It looks like Greenville's heading into the sideline. They're just going to let this quarter expire, and everybody can put the 4 fingers up in the air and think about the fourth quarter. We've played 3 from that well-known track coach and assistant football coach, Cotton Ford Field. And after 3 quarters, Greenville 40 and the Wildcats 21. Let's take a break. Back in a moment.
And we're back at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, named after that well-known track coach that Don alluded to there. And he was also known for something else I can't remember. Oh, it was his great memory. He was also known for his great memory. That was part of my Googleness. Here come the Greenville Lions.
And it's from 1st and 10 at the Wildcats' 38-yard line. We get into this fourth quarter. Back to Stevens, and he's searching for a hole and finding it across the 30-yard line, continuing to run. And the Wildcats finally get him down at the 30-yard line. Some great persistence there. I think that was Bull Turner. Was kind of being bull-headed there. He said, I'm going to get you down on the ground. But it took a while, and it's second down and 2 for the Lions. At the 30-yard line in Wildcats territory.
The Greenville Lions have a great way of backing up and running sideways and getting more yardage out of it. And
got a great volleyball story. I'm going to try to sneak it in, but we'll have to pick our spots here as it's second down and 2. Big moment. Here's a ball got away from the quarterback, but went right in the hands of Odegus Johnson. But he was pushed out of bounds without too big of a gain.
And their quarterback on the Lions has changed to number 13, Don.
Oh, okay. Galay is back in there. He played a few plays in that first half. There must have been an equipment problem or something with Stevens, and I'm not sure why Stevens is out again, but maybe Coach Duke just wants Galay to get a few snaps here. Third down and 2 from the 30-yard line for the Lions. And here's a running play hitting up in there, and then that big surge right at the end goes for the first down. First down and 10 for Greenville at the 26-yard line. We mentioned, Chad, that the Lady Cats had won the district championship. We did an interview Wednesday with what I think may be the greatest player in Sulphur Springs volleyball history, and that would be Sadie Washburn. She has had a wonderful 3-year career.
Yes.
And this will enforce it. Tonight, she surpassed 1,000 career kills. Can you imagine that?
No, I cannot.
1,000 kills. My goodness. Here's a Greenville run on first down, and that's going to be a short gain of just about 3 yards. and it will be 2nd down and 7 from the 25-yard line. But again, congratulations to Coach Bailey Dorner, to Coach Jared Hammock, all of the assistant coaches, and all of those Lady Cats.
And certainly
that
to
have
Sadie
played
Washburn.
so well. Yes, to Sadie and all her teammates that we're so happy for her at her signing the other day for Dallas Baptist. But they win the district championship tonight. Here's 2nd down and 7. Here's a running play for Greenville. Started inside, then go outside. This is Denson, and he finally hits a Wildcat. Looked like a swarm of bumblebees there, angry bumblebees.
Yes.
And they finally got him down at the 20. That's going to be 3 yards, or a couple of yards, 2 yards short of the first down on 3rd down.
And Brandon Stevens, number 4, is back in as quarterback for the Greenville Lions. So they're making a lot of switches there.
Yeah, there's got to be something. That's got to be an equipment thing or something like that. It'd be interesting to find out if anybody can give some insight into that. Here's 3rd down and 2, and now Stevens fakes an option play to the right to Denson. He's around the corner and heading to the house. A touchdown, Greenville, as he runs 20 yards for a touchdown. And boy, the Greenville offense in high gear here in the second half, just putting this game way out there.
You have to hand it to the Greenville Lions. That was a well-executed play. They just took their time and pitched it out on that option play and ran around the entire secondary of the Wildcats and took it in for 6 more points as they go up above the Wildcats even more, 46-21 as we await the extra point.
You don't see many option plays against the Wildcats, and that was the old option. There's a kick on the way. Boy, that was an ugly-looking extra point.
Yes.
But it went right through the uprights, so well done by Greenville.
Right, for you, those watching on YouTube, that was not in slow motion, even though that it looked like it as that kick went up and in through the uprights.
8:47 left here in the 4th quarter. A new score from Greenville, and it's Greenville 47, the Wildcats 21. Let's take a break. Back in a moment.
And we're back at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, Don, where the Wildcats are down 47-21. The Greenville Lions just put 7 more points on the board, and the Wildcats are coming out to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff.
Yeah, the second half has been Greenville 20, the Wildcats 0, after just a 7-point margin at the half. So 7 has become 26, I guess. Here's a short kick taken by the Wildcats across the 25 to the 30. Mitchell, and he'll move up to about the 33-yard line before he's brought down. So the Wildcats will start at their own 33. And from if you're a Wildcat fan, you want the comeback to start right now.
Yes, 8:45 left in the ball game, and a lot of points to make up here for the Wildcats. But they're coming up to the line of scrimmage for their Hootens Hardware first down, ready to go. And again, Caden Wallace, the quarterback, senior quarterback for the Wildcats in his 2nd season. The starting quarterback. Trip receivers out to the right side, back to Wallace. And here's a handoff. Caden Davis sweeping the left side, and he will move forward for about 2 yards on the play to the 35. Be 2nd down and 8 from the Wildcats' 35-yard line. Matthew Sherman's in as a receiver. And then it's Matthew Mitchell on this side, and number 5 as well.
C.J. Williams. Probably Cable Glenn maybe at the end of that line.
I think he's on the other side.
Oh, okay. Here's Wallace keeping the ball and running around the left side. Good run by Wallace up near the first down marker, but they're going to mark him out of bounds back up the field a little bit to the 41-yard line. So that's going to be short 2 yards. Well, let's see where they finally mark this thing.
That was actually Carson Fenton on the other side, not Cable Glenn, that last play.
Oh, okay.
He was in.
42-yard line. This is 1 yard needed, 3rd and 1 for the Wildcats from their own 42. Wallace takes the snap. It's a running play, sweeping to the left, and that play was stuffed by the Greenville defense.
Yes, 44 made it through the offensive line of the Wildcats and chased Caden Davis down for a loss there. So it's really crunch time for the Wildcats now on 4th down.
Yeah, and once again, you're down 26. There's no tomorrow, so, there is tomorrow. That's over dramatic. But as far as playoffs are concerned, it's do it or don't tonight. The winner advances, and the other team will be playing out the string. Back to Wallace, and here's a running play. Running hard for the first down for the Wildcats at the 45-yard line. Caden Davis. There's no quit in Caden.
Yeah, wonderful effort by Caden Davis as he just busted through the front line there and got what it takes to pick up another Hootens Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
They'll mark it back a yard at the 44, so 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at that spot. Back to Caden Wallace looking down the field. He's going to fire a deep pass. Pretty good coverage over there, incomplete. As, again, good Greenville coverage on the Wildcats receiver. In fact, I'm not sure the Greenville guy didn't probably have a better shot at it, but they were kind of contesting.
There's a penalty coming here.
Oh, okay.
No?
The call does go against the Greenville Lions.
Yep.
Holding on the... Oh, no, it's a defensive holding, I guess. It's a big one. It's 15 yards.
Fantastic.
So that brings it down to the 41 in Greenville territory. Maybe a defensive holding or something. I did not catch that preliminary indication, Chad.
Yes, on the receiver there, it looked like.
Well, pass interference call. How about that? First down and 10 from the 41-yard line. Back to Wallace. Fakes. Fires the ball down the field. Incomplete. Trying to get it into C.J. Williams.
Yeah, just a little overthrown there.
Again, real good coverage at Greenville secondary. Those receivers have not been able to get just wide open. They're really being watched out there by, or as in hockey you would say, they were marked. I guess that's a soccer term too. You mark that player. Don't let him get loose. Second down and 10. Is that right, Alexi Upton? Here's a handoff, and a good strong legged run there where you just keep pushing all the way to the 37. Gain of 4. It'll be third down and 6 for the Wildcats at the Greenville 37. Alexi, our soccer coach, he'll tell me if you mark players in soccer. That's what he says to those guys. They're getting ready. They'll be practicing before long. Caden Wallace again fires the ball. Good catch in the secondary. C.J. Williams, and he's down to the 15-yard line. Good pass by Caden Wallace and a good grab by, they're going to mark him back to the 16-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Good grab by that young sophomore.
Fantastic execution of that play. Just perfect, and it picks up the Hootens Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
We've got about 6 minutes to go. The Wildcats really going to have to put her in gear here. There's a fake to the running back, Wallace. Now drop the ball and drops on it to make sure there's no fumble there. So that'll be marked back to the 21-yard line. So it'll be second down and about 15 for the Wildcats.
Caden Wallace trying to take his time on that play, but the ball just slipped out of his hand, and wisely he fell on it and covered it up, even though it's for...
Brings up second down and 10.
That was a pump fake there. When you're doing that pump fake, you've got to be very careful. That ball can really slip out of there.
Sure.
Especially if you're perspiring and maybe that ball's a little wet. And here's a running play. Caden Davis again trying to get around the corner, and he's going to be thrown for a loss. Greenville really coming on defense, too, in this second half. They've kind of bent a little bit, but they have not broken. That's the cardinal rule. You can bend a little bit, but don't break. And, we have an injured
player down on the Greenville side.
Let's James, let's take an injury timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
And we're back to the Wildcat game where the Wildcats are down 21-47. 5:49 left in the ball game after that injury timeout. Don?
And here we go. Third down and 15 for the Wildcats. We'll update that injury. It doesn't look to be serious. Wallace with a fake. Now rolls to the right. His pass down the field. Looks caught there by C.J. Williams.
Yep.
Down around the 13-yard line. That's going to be short of the first by about 7. So it's going to be fourth down and 7. That was Josh Luna, who's a backup quarterback and a defensive back. But he did make his way off the field, and looks like will be able to return. Or doesn't appear to be a serious injury, so we're glad to report that. Here's big 4th and 7 now from the 13-yard line for the Wildcats. Just about a must-do with 5:14 left here in the fourth quarter. Wallace fakes. Looking down the field, he's going to run, and he's going to be caught short and dropped at the 14, and the ball will go over on downs. And we've said that several times in at least 3 here in this second half.
The Greenville Lions did a great job on reading what the Wildcats were up to there on that one, and Caden Wallace just didn't have any place to go. He got swarmed and couldn't get the ball off, of course, for a pass play to try to pick up the yardage. So it does go over on downs. The Greenville Lions are pushed back deep in their own territory, but with only 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in the ball game, the hopes for the Wildcats are dwindling fast.
Gallet is back in there to get a little bit of experience here, the junior quarterback and defensive back, and he will hand off in a good defensive play by the Wildcats to drop the player for a loss. Really a good job there, Cameron Hargrave, I believe.
Yep.
And another player in there. Let me see if I can identify him.
It's going to be Wyatt Smithson.
Yes, Wyatt Smithson, yeah. Absolutely. And so a couple of linebackers, an inside guy, Smithson, outside guy, Hargrave, teaming up on the tackle. And isn't Ryan Carrillo having a great year? He is far and away the Wildcats' leading tackler right there in the middle of that defense. Here's a running play, and that time Otagus Johnson, who's had a really nice night, but that time
just
he looked like the victim of self-tackleization.
I'm going to have to look that one. I'm going to Google that one, I think, Don.
Yeah, I don't think they find that. That would be in the Cecil Savage dictionary, I believe.
Right,
Doug Macon helped me on that. Back to the 13-yard line on the loss. Again, sometimes that artificial turf gets a little wet there, and for one reason or the other, and you just slip down. So here's 3rd down and 12 from the 13-yard line. Back to Gallet. He's going to get to throw a pass. He sails a deep one down there, and it looks intercepted there for the Wildcats, and that is a first if that stands up there.
Number 26.
Robbie Hanks.
Yep.
Is the answer to the trivia question of who got the first Wildcats interception of the season. Nice play, Robbie.
So back in still in Greenville Lion territory, the Wildcats will come out for their Hootens Hardware first down, but much farther to go to get down to the end zone with 3:43 left in the ball game.
That's the 46-yard line for the Wildcats after Robbie Hanks' interception. I was getting a little tired on these pregame shows of saying
unsportsmanlike conduct against the Greenville Lions.
Oh my, okay. That'll be a big penalty.
So another 15 yards tacked on to the end of where that interception happened. That brings it down, to the
31-yard line. Now that's what Chad would call field position.
That's very good field position for the Hootens Hardware first down for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Not sure we might not have had a change at quarterback. Is this Matthew Mitchell? It is. And we have a running play in there. It's going to be a short gain for the Wildcats. If we got another flag flies.
Yeah, we got some guys.
I think Douglas Deloney might have been the ball carrier on that last play. Douglas plays mostly defense, but he's the bigger back. And let's see there. Here's the call.
Another unsportsmanlike conduct, but against the Wildcats this time, and offsetting.
This is Boys Will Be Boys.
Yes.
Or the Emily Nutella, if you used to watch Saturday Night Live. Never mind.
There's 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties offsetting on either team. Little action after the play there. So
for a second, I thought he was going to mark off 15 one way and then mark off 15 the other. I'm glad he didn't do that.
Right.
Here's a ball back to Mitchell. Here's a pass out to Matthew Sherman. Sherman really backing his way downfield, gaining some yards to about the 27-yard line. So it'll be second down and about 6 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he turned that into what looked like was going to be no gain into a gain of 4. So good job, Matthew Sherman.
The best thing, he was heading north and south. He was always heading down the field, and that gained him 4 yards. Just about 3 to play in this one. And here's Deloney with another run, and a nice run by the big fella. The big running back. A first down and 10 for the Wildcats down to the Greenville 17-yard line.
And, Don, you realize we got here in that J. Hodge Chevrolet borrowed vehicle was wonderful.
That's right.
Way to get over here, and that's the way we'll be getting home. And I'll give you a minute to think of what's going to be our Sulphur Springs Dodge play of the game here in just a moment.
I knew that was coming.
You did?
And my mind, I'm going to have to think on it. Here's Matthew Mitchell on a run, and he's trying to get around the corner, and he will be tackled at the 15-yard line. Going to be a loss of a little bit. Well, let me go back into my brain cells here.
I've already got my vote in, but you go ahead, Don.
Yeah, what would you say?
Was it going to be that 55 or 58-yard run for the touchdown early in the first quarter for the Wildcats? Who was that?
Yeah, let's see. Well, the Wildcats had a short touchdown by Davis.
Yes.
And then an 8-yard run.
Yeah.
Here's a play, almost scores for the Wildcats down to the 1-yard line. I think that was Delaney.
Yeah,
Deloney again.
Douglas Deloney again on the carry, and he gets down to the 1-yard line, and that's going to be great for the Wildcats, first and goal.
Yeah, that would be quite a thunder and lightning package to have him and JJ next year. And here's Deloney hitting in there very close to the goal line. And touchdown Wildcats as Deloney gets across the into the end zone.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Douglas Deloney. That's the first TD for him for the game. And they put 6 more points on the board, 27-47, as we wait for the extra point for the Wildcats.
And once again, Josh Tavera will kick it.
The extra point, number 33, Josh Tavera.
And Matthew Mitchell does the holding. A little high snap, and now Mitchell's going to raise up and try to get 2, and then just sails it out of bounds. Nobody open, and he was in players in hot pursuits. So that doesn't work. But the Wildcats do add 6, so 1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. Greenville 47, and the Wildcats 27. And we'll take a break here with 1:32 left in the ball game and be back in a moment.
And we're back at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville, where the Greenville Lions are up 47-27 over the Wildcats with 1:32 left in the fourth quarter, as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats come out to kick the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, and the Greenville Lions are back in their usual spot to receive. They're moving up.
And once again, the alternate kicker, I think that may be Lacey out there, did the kicking, kind of an onside kick that Greenville recovered just across the 50-yard line. That's kind of a little fakery there. I believe that was number 1, if I read that correctly. And rather than Tavera, Lacey kind of stepped in there and hit it.
And there's a flag on the play.
You may get another chance. Is that a 1 down there?
Yeah, they're going
to make them re-kick.
Well, no, it was penalty against the Wildcats, and Greenville's going to get the ball at the Wildcat 45. So I'm not sure what.
Might have been an offside play or something.
Could have been.
A little bit, trying to get the jump on. I'll tell you what, a play of the game, I'm going to vote for Robbie Hanks with the interception.
There you go. Yes, because that's the first
of the
interception.
Season.
Yes.
And that was a very nice play by Robbie, too. And here's back to Galay again, the quarterback. He's rolling to the left, and he got caught and slung down to the ground there by some good defense there by a big, tall linebacker for the Wildcats, Devin Franklin.
Yes, a great tackle. And a great pick on the Sulphur Springs Dodge play of the game, a defensive play on that interception. Robbie Hanks picking off the ball.
Loss of 2 on that play. I'll tell you, Franklin, big, tall linebacker, reminds me of a guy from the Miami Dolphins named Ted Hendricks. They called him the Mad Stork because he was so tall. And Franklin reminds me of that kind of player. And here's a handoff and another play thrown for a loss.
Yeah, number 9 on the tackle for the Wildcats there.
Again, playing defense in there.
J.J. Hall playing both ways, and he snagged his shirt and took him to the ground, and a big loss of yardage for the Greenville Lions.
Let's see if we can identify some more of these fellas in there. Alex Rodriguez is still in there on the nose.
Is it 96?
Yes. So we'll try to see if there's not. We've already identified J.J. and Franklin as guys getting in some plays, and Greenville takes the knee, and that's going to end the ball game here. We're in the dying seconds, and Greenville celebrating a second year in a row of heading for the playoffs. And Coach Duke with those hands high into the air, and they got to be careful, Coach, bumping those players. They got pads on there. He may wake up in the middle of the night looking for that liniment, going, what in the world did I do to get that bruise? He bumped into Stevens or somebody down there that's in full pads. So Greenville wins this one by the score of 47-27, and they just turned it on in the second half. They outscored the Wildcats 20-0. I think that's right. Let me double check my figures. But it was 27-21. So they,
correct. Yeah. So 20-6.
Yeah, 20-6. Okay, there you go. And really, the Wildcats kind of pick up a touchdown right there at the end, but Greenville just really seized the ball game by the throat in that second half, scoring those 20 straight points, and just kind of put it out there too far for the Wildcats.
So who will Greenville face next week, and then what are in 2 weeks, and what's in store for the Wildcats, Don?
Well, Greenville will now be I anticipate the number 2 seed in the zone. The Wildcats will be number 3. If games happen, if Royce City beats Crandall, that's their 2-3 game.
Gotcha.
Then it would be Royce City against Greenville. Now, that's a nice matchup. They're close, and they have a nice rivalry between each other. They get after each other pretty good. And that would mean the Wildcats would probably be heading next Friday night to Crandall. But now if Crandall wins against Royce City, and again, I have not seen the scores yet, then it'd be Greenville going against Crandall and the Wildcats taking on Royce City. But the Wildcats will be a 3 seed. And I anticipate, if the way I see it, it'll be Crandall next week, Thanksgiving, and then the week after a trip to Forney, because that's the number 4 team over in that other zone. And that's a team we were supposed to go over there and play anyway. And we were supposed to go to Crandall before all this virus stuff happened to the Wildcats. So Greenville beats the Wildcats 47-27.
And a late score coming in, Mount Vernon over Gladewater, 51-43. That's a final.
Wow.
And then Tristan Abrams' team, the Mahia Bearcats, 38 over Spring Hill, 14, and they're in the third quarter, though, so that game's still got a ways to go. So a lot going on in and around the Sulphur Springs area and with Sulphur Springs connections, and we can't thank Ross Labansky enough. Again, this is probably going to be his last game with us. Maybe we can talk him into coming next week, but
I bet we can.
He's served out his internship with the KSST sports team and done a fantastic job, and we certainly have enjoyed having him and appreciated all of his help, and we look forward to having him back with us real soon whenever his schedule allows.
Indeed.
Of course, yes. That's going to do it for us here at the ever-popular T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in Greenville. Unfortunately, the Wildcats didn't turn it into a win tonight, but we'll see you here next week. And for everyone that puts this together, including Doug Haston, who will have the repeat of the game on YouTube and as well as Channel 18 on Sunlink Cable. Don is on your play-by-play. I'm Chad Young, just filling in and the conversation when it gets low. And, of course, Ross Labansky on stats. And our wonderful James Terry keeping it all under control back at the stadium, at the station for us. Thank you, James. Back to you.
Thank you, guys. You've been listening to Wildcat Football on KSST 1230 AM Sulphur Springs. Our TSN scoreboard starts at 10 o'clock. In the meantime, let's hear from Good Time Oldies.